remind me, I'll go through it next week. Yeah.
So next week I'm not around, so I won't be able to know the answer also. I'm overseas.
You can check with your classmate. Ask them to take note more. Then, let you know whether you correct or wrong. Or you can print screen your answer to your classmate and then ask them to help you verify which where went wrong. If but y'all will know which answer wrong or right, or don't have, only show the total marks. Don't know. Okay already.
Only show total mark.
Okay. Only show total mark. So didn't tell you. Unless you get all correct, then you know it's all correct lah. Or all wrong. Yeah. That is the only two possibilities. Okay, I will run through the meeting room. I'm in the meeting room. So the light goes off every, I think, 5 minutes. Yeah. The light will go off 5 minutes if I don't move. It's sensor. So this is, I don't know, good or bad. Of course, if you are in a meeting with a few persons, you definitely have some movement. But like now, I'm talking to y'all. I don't use the mouse. And I remain still for like 5-10 minutes. 5 minutes. After that, the light will think that the room will think that nobody is inside, and the light goes off. That's the, I don't know, good effect of implementing such technology. But if you don't implement, people don't, because it's not their house. So people will, they don't care. They don't off the light. And imagine the office light. I'm sure you have encountered before the office lighting. The last one didn't off the light. So what happened? Next morning you come in, let's say you're the first one, then you see all the lights still on. So wastage. Very common, especially with the older officers that don't have timer, that kind of thing. Or security physically going through at night to purposely switch off the light for the user. So when we implement new office previously, when we shifted, we incorporate timer, bypass switch. For those who want to OT, we have certain circuit that allow you to bypass the light for an hour. So let's say the light off at 8 p.m. for example, and you're still here, you need the light, you go and press that bypass switch. The lights will remain on for you until 9 p.m. So 9:01, you still here, you still need the light, you go and press again. So every press is 1 hour extension. That's how it works. Yeah. That is how we do it here. I don't know, unless you have other fanciful motion detector, lighting sensors installed in the office, connected to the system. There are various types of systems out there. Okay, I think 18, about 3/4 of the class is here. So same thing. After the break, we will go through one video on root cause analysis, and then we will do our revision for the common test. So like I say, the common test, the paper, I have not finalized it, but it's more or less there. I just maybe 75-80% there. I just need to change a little bit. because the structure of the syllabus has changed a bit. I'm sharing screen really, right? Okay, so today we talk about procurement and conflicts management. So the common test will comprise of all the topics before that. That means from business continuity planning upwards. Yeah, all these, if you follow my mouse cursor, all these will be tested. Then the final test here will comprise of majority tenancy and asset management onwards, and a little bit of financial management or the computation of ROI, which I purposely took out so that it will not be tested here in the coming common test, because I think that one needs a little bit more, more practice in order to get it correct. Some people just hate maths question, but it's a very simple maths question which you are required to know, because sooner or later at one time, if you are in this industry, you will need some form of some form of calculation to determine the feasibility of cost saving project. Yeah. So if you cannot understand or you don't know how to compute your ROI, then how do you justify your project? Yeah. Okay. 6:40. Let's start. Continue with last lesson on root cause analysis. Some of y'all may have heard before on this root cause analysis, especially if you are doing safety, or you're doing some kind of investigation. You need to know what actually caused such problem or issue to occur, and you want to prevent reoccurrence. In order to prevent reoccurrence, again, then you need to know what happened and why. So that, again, you must make sure that that particular event does not happen again. That's why you want to establish, you want to know the true cause of the issue. You want to collect all the factors. In property management, I think we have committed mistake. There has been mistake done. Pipe breakage out of nowhere. Certain thing happen, or safety related incident, people get injured. You want to prevent and ensure that the same mistake does not happen again. And that's why you want to drive down, determine what is the root cause. A lot of people, if you come across this, you'll talk about the iceberg, mentioning about iceberg. What is an iceberg? The iceberg caused Titanic to sink, but from the surface it's just a small lump of ice. Yeah, this is the water. So above the water you can only see a small lump of ice, but beneath the water is an entire mass of ice which you cannot see, hidden below the water. That's why they call it the iceberg theory. You only see the surface of the problem, but underneath the surface, underneath the water, there are a lot of other underlying factors which is not so obvious, which you don't know, you're unable to see because it's hidden, it's below the water, it's hidden underneath. And unless you dive in, that's why we call it the root cause. You dive in to examine what actually caused the crash of Titanic, for example. What actually caused this incident to happen? So over here, I've created an example. So I'm sure you have encountered toilet chokage problem before. Every time after lunchtime, level 5 toilet will be choked. Out of all the levels, 10, 20 levels of toilets that you have, only level 5 after lunchtime you get choked. Why? Cleaner has been, clearing choke. They say, choke again, and then lunchtime must be female toilet, level 5, near to unit ABC, must be that toilet choke. You have a trend. You have recurrence. You want to prevent. So how to prevent? You need to investigate what caused the choke. Is it a user issue? Is it a toilet paper issue? Is it lack of maintenance? Or maybe the cleaner, somehow after lunch, they don't touch up the toilet. Or there is a particular user after lunch who abuse the toilet by throwing toilet paper, throwing paper towel. It depends. So we need to find out. We need to establish the cause. It's like conducting a police investigation. What time happened? Why happened? You ask the 5 why. Later we talk about the video, the 5 why, to help us in determining the root cause analysis. What if the entire commercial building that you are managing have frequent toilet chokage problem? What could be the possible causes? If you have frequent toilet chokage problem since day one, let's say this is a new building, just TOP, and you've been running the building for the past 2-3 weeks, and you keep on getting feedback that your toilet is soaked. So what is the possible cause? Put in some of the possible cause here in the chat box. New building. After running the building for 2-3 weeks, commercial grade A, 20-story, what is the possible cause of toilet chokage for a new building? 2-3 weeks old, and when people shift in, you start getting complaint, hey, your toilet choke again. Every few days, random toilet start choke. What do you think is a possible issue? Come, put in some feedback. Contractor debris, this one very common, because they throw in the cement and the cement hardened over that period. Project just finished. What else? There are many reasons. Toilet bowl, the construction, the design, toilet paper, quality of the toilet paper. Then there are certain toilets when where they install paper towel. So paper towel is not easily dissolvable compared to your toilet paper. So when people, you know, conveniently, if you paper towel, to dry hand, and they after drying hand somehow they walk back to the toilet bowl, then they just throw into the WC, and then flush it down. That's it. You're going to have chokage very soon. Sometimes also the type of toilet paper or not enough water to flush down. The type of toilet paper also plays a part. At one time, one of my project, frequent toilet, chokage, WC. So in order to determine the quality and the type of toilet paper that they use, so they ask the cleaner to propose 3-4 brands and type of toilet paper, which the user, that means you go and actual test after finishing your business. You use brand A, brand B, brand C, brand D, and then you determine which you shortlist. You shortlist maybe 2 or 3 toilet paper, the brand, and then we do dissolvable test on the toilet paper. Like a science experiment, we put 3 transparent cup filled with water. We put in the paper with time, say 1 hour. After 1 hour, we see for ourselves which paper dissolve. That means what? That means it's easily dissolvable, and then which paper still remain largely intact. So the largely intact one means very difficult to dissolve. Then you don't use lah. Although you have shortlisted, maybe 3 brands, and 1 or 2 brand is acceptable. After 1 hour, inside the water it become dissolvable. Then you use that kind of toilet paper. We even went to that kind of extent to select toilet paper for new building, because we want to ensure that the paper quality is suitable. Of course, at the same time, it's comfortable to use, it's acceptable, of acceptable thickness. Some of the toilet paper very thin. Then after that, you install, you use already, you get feedback from the tenant, or the usage of the toilet paper is very high because it's thin, so people use more. Yeah. So there has to be a balance somewhere. The toilet paper can talk about toilet paper for 10 minutes. Very common to have a chokage problem. But in order to do a good root cause analysis, your problem statement must be correct, must be correctly used. If you, for example, just now we talk about the toilet paper. If you establish that the chokage is because of toilet paper, then you are able to zoom down the problem. But let's say the problem of the chokage is not because of toilet paper, but it's something else, and your or not insufficient water or piping design, totally different. Then your problem statement of frequent toilet chokage, once you get it wrong, everything will be wrong. So your problem statement has to be correct. When do we use root cause analysis. So a lot of time is used for health and safety issue. You want to make sure that it doesn't happen again, or something major, critical failure, an explosion, or your chiller trip, or electrical trip, something very major, and you want to make sure that this thing doesn't happen again. Or something very difficult, that it needs a lot of cooperation from the other stakeholder, from the other department to resolve. Then maybe it's a system issue, something about regarding finance processing, regarding the workflow, where you have your IT team, your finance team, your procurement team coming in to tackle this problem. So earlier we talked about the problem statement. So stage one, defining the problem is crucial. You define the wrong problem, you have different answer, different implementation. So this part one must be accurate. Determine the problem, then you'll be able to define the process to source, to identify what are the possible causes before you can implement the solution. Imagine your step one is wrong, then all the 2, 3, 4 all wrong already. Yeah? So step one must be accurate definition of the problem. What is the wrong definition of an issue? For example, you have an aircon issue, and the user feedback to you that technician did not go to the office to adjust his boss room lunchtime 11:45. User just complained that the technician did not attend. Is it valid? Is it true? Technician did not go. User like to exaggerate sometimes. Yeah. So you have to identify, listen to all, investigate what happened. Did the technician go or didn't go? So you need to check the technician. Maybe the technician went, the user not in, the user left for lunch, or user went to the toilet. The technician went in, checked, aircon okay, then left. The technician also didn't approach the user. So we use the 5W1H. I'm sure majority of us have heard of this term. We ask why. That's another problem definition. Problem solving is the us. I don't know how many why. There are a few 5 why. 5 why. You have the fishbone diagram, and you also have this 5W1H method. What went wrong, when, where. So all these different methodology you can use to determine the root cause analysis to help you find the problem. Secondary school, I don't know, or maybe I learned in Poly, I forgot, fishbone diagram, the cause and effect. I'm sure maybe you also have it before. So the last step to implement, after you identify, you define possible causes, then you want to do countermeasure. For example, go back to the toilet paper issue, and after analysis, confirm it's not water issue, you have sufficient water, there's no construction debris, your toilet paper is okay. Something wrong with the design, because you have eliminated all the possible causes using the 5W1H method, everything you have done, and determine that the possible causes the possible cause is a design fault. Maybe too many branch stack going to the main stack and then causing congestion. The main stack couldn't cope. Somehow some calculation went wrong, and you get the plumber to verify and confirm. Plumber say, hey, this one like a bit undersized. You need to divert some branch back to another main stack. Money. No money, no talk. Very expensive to redivert. Then how? What's other countermeasures that you can do? So now you have a possible, you have identified, you know how to solve the problem. But in order to implement this solution, you need $1 million, for example, which you don't have, because it's a new building and design for. Or maybe you want to push to the architect, you want to push to the main con to rectify the problem. But let's say, intermittent, it's not as bad, it's just slightly undersized. What else can you do? I don't know, maybe close a certain toilet, or close certain cubicle, or redivert. Instead of redivert everything, you redivert a bit. Instead of $1 million requirement to expand this amount, you can do it simpler, cheaper way of doing it, maybe 200,000. Solve a little bit of the problem, not a total measure, not a total solution, but at least a part of the problem is resolved. Then next time got money, then you continue with phase 2 of the project. Sometimes you have the solution, but you don't have the means to implement this solution. Then you have to think of the box, justify why, or somehow get additional money from big boss. Sometimes you have found out the root cause of the problem. This amount to implement this solution. Many ways of doing it. And make sure, for example, after diverting the pipe, you don't cause another issue. You don't cause the next main stack of the toilet. So now you solve maybe corridor A toilet. Last time corridor B no choke, but because you diverted the pipe to corridor B area, then corridor B toilet start to choke. So make sure your implementation don't cause new problem to the system. Yeah. Sometimes people want to just resolve problem A, but cause other problem to occur. Okay, anything else? Pipe design. Okay, if not, we are done with this topic. So same thing, a little, questions on root cause analysis or different methods of root cause analysis. This can be like multiple choice question. So if you tell me, because I haven't set like 20% of the paper, I almost there, 75% almost there. I just need to tweak a little bit because using partial question to modify a little bit. Yeah. So there are some questions which I have not done, but I see this as a possible MCQ question. Or what are the types of root cause analysis that you can use, or like how many, or even a structure question, 4 marks. structured question of root cause analysis. How do you derive to stage 4 of implementation of a solution? What are the first 3 steps? 6 mark, 2 mark each. Definition, define the problem. How do you define the process? Or I can give you a scenario how to do it. Yeah. So all this can be done, can be said, but it will all be within the context of these notes. Yeah. So I wouldn't say you don't need to memorize, but at least you need to understand a little bit. Just remember the key statement, the key points of the various section. Later I'll go through more in depth after the break. Okay, I don't close first. So today we talk about procurement and conflict management. So these are 2 different topics squeezed into one lesson. Corporate governance in procurement. How do you collaborate in organization and conflict management? So these 2 are portable, even if you are not in FM or property management. You can use it elsewhere to deal with your colleagues, to deal with situations, to understand situation. How do you resolve conflicts better? There's actually a whole topic on conflict management. There are many books written about conflict management in an organization. So we're just doing a quick summary over an hour of entire topic on conflict management. It is present everywhere, in every organization. I'm sure you have differences with your colleagues, your bosses, difference in opinion. These are conflicts. So how about you don't go and beat up your boss or your contractor or your colleagues or subordinates just because there is a difference in opinion, but we work toward resolving this. How do you collaborate in an organization to make things move, to make things better? So this a little recap on your FAL, your financial authority limits, or your whatever you call it, your MOA, your delegation of authority. So basically means how much can someone approve? What is the guideline to your organization, invitation to quote or tender, or if you are in the government sector, your GBs, what kind of quantum amount can you propose, recommend, approve? It depends on your destination, on your boss approving limit. So this is what it's all about. What is the guideline? If you don't know, then ask someone who is more senior than you, or ask your boss. I'm sure they know. I'm sure there is something within the organization, your guide, your procurement guide, somewhere your portal, your intranet, will have something. Go and ask. Don't do the wrong thing. Uh, don't make yourself busy for nothing. Imagine you need to purchase something and you need to call tender because it's above $100,000, for example, and 100,000 need a tender to be called. But you didn't call a tender, you just call a quotation. You get 4 quotation, but it's exceeded 100,000. The lowest quote is 150,000, and you didn't call a tender. And the deadline is shorter and shorter. Then by the time you write your paper, you submit to your boss for approval, then your boss say, hey, above 100K, how come you never call tender? You lost like 1-2 months there already, and then contract is expiring next month. Die or wow. No time for new tender. Because you didn't know that above 100,000 need a tender to be called. That's your company process. Why you don't know? Happened before. I don't know. I don't know whether you encountered such before. But it's also quite common. Especially when you are new or when your colleague is new, nobody told you and you assume the wrong thing. Good luck to you. We do with a very, very tight deadline, very stressful, meeting that deadline. When initially you have a lot of time, but you did wrongly. That's it lah. Then good luck to you. You have to scramble, burn midnight oil, do overtime. Yeah. So now you know that it is a tender. Please go and do your pre-qualifier. What is pre-qualifier? This is last time one of the common test question MCQ. So at the same time, it's considered revision, right? Maybe the question not set, maybe I'll set something like that. What are pre-qualifier before you call for a tender? Before you buy a car, you want certain you have certain brands in mind, you have certain type of car in mind. For example, now you want to only go for EV car, electric vehicle. So you must pre-qualify, okay, this one EV, this one hybrid, this one is normal internal combustion engine. So you're not going to consider internal combustible engine vehicle. So that one out. What about hybrid? Will you consider hybrid versus electric vehicle? Yes and no lah. Depends on yourself. So if you don't want hybrid also, you want only electric vehicle, then before you even go to the car show, you only focus on electric vehicle. Same for pre-qualifier. You want ISO 14,000 and 45,000 only minimum. Then if they don't have, don't invite them to go. Don't waste time. Same thing for the purchase of a car. If it's not an EV car that you wanted, it's a hybrid car, then don't even go and look at it because you have a certain objective in mind that you want. Then you shortlist. Otherwise, there are so many brands of EV car, so many range. Then how do you know what what you want. So you shortlist, you do a pre-qualification of your contractors. For example, they must have ISO certification. They must be of BSafe level 3 minimum. They must meet certain BCA workhead. Because your project is a bit massive, you want some kind of good track record. You want some kind of minimum workhead to confirm that the contractors can deliver of certain good financial standing. You also want to check their financial accreditation, whether they are doing well, whether they will bankrupt the next month or not. So you want to do all this pre-qualification check. You don't invite somebody which you have not done pre-Q, and then found out that, okay, for example, for us, when we select a contractor, they must be of BSafe level 3 minimum. BSafe level 3. If they don't have, I'll tell my guy don't invite them to quote because they don't meet that requirement. They don't meet my procurement requirements of BSafe level 3 because that is my procurement guideline, my policy that the contractors must have BSafe level 3. That's it. It's very simple. Don't go and invite somebody who don't have, because if you will not go through system, will not approve, waste time. Then you got to redo. Yeah, you waste everybody time, and then redo. You waste your own time. So understand your requirement. So this is also a previous MCQ. Can be something like what are the pre-qualifications requirements for a cleaning contract, for example, or for a security contract. But basically, it's the same. I mean, these are some examples of pre-qualifications that you want the contractor to possess. And this is common pre-Q, common BSafe level 3 ISO certification. At times, it depends how focused or your company requires. It depends. Track record, also very common. You want similar track record. For example, you are a grade A commercial building and your contract amount is 1.5 M, 2 M. So you want the vendor to also have similar track record of managing similar properties of similar amount. These are your pre-qualification criteria that contractors must meet before you even invite them for the tender or for the invitation to quote pre-qualified. So understand this term, understand what it is, and understand some of the criteria of pre-qualification. That is your tender pre-qualification. Any questions? Is for number 2. Define what process. Define what process. That is your root cause analysis. What process? Here. Define the problem. After defining the problem, so for example, our toilet choke issue, how did you determine the fault call. For example, the person call 2 p.m. Is 2 p.m. accurate, or did the incident happen yesterday night? What is the process of identifying the problem? The workflow. Somebody call, did they call the correct hotline? Maybe yesterday night they call the technician. Technician forget to feedback. In the end, your tenant call again in the morning or in the afternoon when they want to use the toilet and discover that toilet cannot be used because it's choked. But the timing reported is wrong. It happened yesterday night. It didn't happen during lunchtime. It didn't happen every time after lunch. But actually it happened every time at night. So the workflow. Over here refers to the workflow, the process of identifying the problem. There was another example of this. So what is the process here? The user complained that technician did not address the boss air conditioning issue. Define the problem. So yes, the problem is the aircon. Aircon not cold or not, probably not cold. So define the problem. What about the process? Is the process correct? Did the user call the technician? Did the user call the hotline? Or the user input certain CMMS on fault reporting? Did the technician acknowledge from the system? Let's say there is a CMMS system. Did the technician acknowledge that he attended the problem at 11:50 in the system? Then you can go back to check the system. If there is such, CMMS fault reporting system, you can log in and check. Our technician actually went there at 11:50 and adjusted the aircon. But the aircon takes about 1 hour or half an hour to modulate to reach certain temperature. From the system, you can check. Define the process. And then you identify what is the possible cause of why this particular room always need manual adjustment. Because every Wednesday, that boss goes to the gym at 10 o'clock. After gym come in very hot, he complain to the secretary, which is the user, that my room aircon not cold. And it also only happen after, maybe 11 o'clock on Wednesday. There are many reasons. So we want to know, example, if this is a root cause, if this is a recurring issue that you want to resolve, you sick of getting complaint every Wednesday why this person keep on calling to say that aircon not cold. Then Thursday, aircon very cold. Friday, aircon very cold. Because after you adjusted Wednesday, you tune down, you lower the temperature, afternoon very short. Okay, but next day, Thursday, come in freezing. Wednesday, not cold. Thursday, very cold. Then how? You want to define, you want to resolve the problem. Very common, especially aircon. See, stock control, payment. Okay. I will want to finish everything today so that next week we can go through the tutorials and your revision as well. Stock control system. Same thing, like it is related to procurement. Same thing like approving of raising PO, raising purchase order, and approving on the service order, approving payment. we want to segregate control. We want to have good, proper procurement governance to ensure zero opportunity, for hanky-panky under table, for allegations of corruption, allegation that work was not certified properly, and then you all make payment. So we want to eliminate all these allegations or possible errors. We want to be of certain standard. Of course, this comes with resources lah. You must have sufficient resources, manpower, or system capability in order to deliver this kind of standard. Last time when I was a condo manager, myself and one technician to run the entire development. So how do you implement such stock control system? Very difficult. There's only one technician, so he changed light. He draw the light as in from the storeroom, and then change light. Also acknowledge on the stock. So everything he do. So where is the proper check? Difficult. So if you want to have certain system in place and you don't have that resources available to implement that system, then sorry, too bad. Cannot. Unable to. So what is this that we are talking about? For example, this a very simple case of stock control, inventory control. How do you develop a proper inventory or stock control system for your consumables like a light bulb? Light bulb. What if the technician, you have like 100 light tube? How do you prevent, let's say only light tube is like a few dollars. How do you prevent the technician go and use this light bulb at his own house? That means you take this light bulb back to your house, same kind of light tube, and then you save money. You take from company stock to install in your house, which is wrong. So you want to prevent such from happening. How to prevent? So you must have a proper stock control system. So what is a proper stock control system? How do you do it? Any idea? Record, have a book, have inventory check, stock card, in and out stock card, balance, who check all these stock card? So if you have 2 or 3 different role, different function, different technician, then not so bad. If it's just one, then I don't think you can implement this system. So one person request to withdraw. Technician A request to withdraw one light tube for level 3 corridor replacement because the light is flickering. I need one light. So technician A request. Technician B issue. So technician B issue. So different person. Then supervisor C confirm. That means supervisor C will do the check. Do the check maybe monthly to confirm that it is in order. That technician A didn't take this tube to replace at his house instead of the common corridor. So supervisor C have to go to the common corridor, make sure that the light was replaced. Then maybe put a mark there, put a sticker there, like replaced on 24th November 2025. So that you know again how long this light will last. These are all some good practice if you want to do. Well, of course, yeah, you can just use a marker and then put. But light tube, we don't usually put this kind of marking. It's too insignificant, too troublesome. It's just a few dollar item. But we normally put like maybe filter replacement or something bigger, of value. Maybe you change the pump, you write down the date of replacement of the pump. Do you order tube when it totally, out of stock, totally run low, then you order? How low is low that you consider ordering the light tube? So for example, if you're running neon poly, you got so many campus, let's say all using the same kind of light tube. Every day you use 10 light tube. Every day you use 10 light tube. And from the process of ordering the light tube to the day where the light tube arrive on site, it takes about 10 days. So how much stock do you need to keep minimally, and when do you need to start to order? Averagely, every day you use 10. So how? What is a good date to pre-order, having in mind that your purchase order from the day you cut your PO, you give to the supplier, until the day the supplier comes is about 10 days. Each day you use 10 tube. So minimum you have to have 100 tube on hand. So at least 2 weeks stock. So 100 tube, about 2 weeks. One day 10. So assuming 10 working days, 2 weeks stock, 100. But the 100 is just minimum, because you need 10 days to cut PO. If you use 100, that means you got no buffer at all. You have no buffer at all. Once you reach 100, it's like very, very low already. You got no buffer. Once you reach 100, you order, you'll be just nice. On day 10, the new will come in. But by day 10, you will have 0 tube already. Assuming Monday you use 10 tube, and you have 100 tube. So 100 tube is not ideal. You have no buffer. So it depends on what kind of buffer you want. And I say averagely, that it doesn't mean that for that particular week or month or period, you won't use 15 or 12 tube or 13 tube per day. So you determine your own buffer, your own stock. Maybe you want to have 30% buffer. So you order 130 tube. So 3 weeks before that, you start to kickstart the ordering process. Something like that. You don't wait until 0. If you wait until 0, or even less 10 tubes, by the time you cut PO, that's it. You won't be able to change light until the stock comes. Then complaint will start to come. Then you got to think of the box, how to relocate tubes from location A to location B, because location B is more sensitive, the big boss sit there, that kind of thing. But we don't want to, come to that kind of situation. Yeah. So earlier we talked about the timeline for ordering of light tube. Same for your contract expiry. You need to keep in mind how long you need to take to call for a tender in your company, how long to get approval, how long the cleaning company can mobilize the worker. Let's say you're changing a new cleaner's contract. So all this you have to work backward in order to establish a comfortable timeline with buffer. Like my managing agent contract is due in September next year. September next year. I already started doing it September this year, 1 year in advance. And our intention is to call the new tender this year by December. It's almost ready. So you work backward because I know this approval will get lengthy, probably 3 months to get approval. Then another 1-2 months to evaluate. That is 5 months. And then you get approval. So it's not too early to start 1 year ahead for this kind of big contract. Yeah. So many variables. You need to work backward in order to establish what is a good timeline for you. Okay, before we go for the break, let's confirm attendance. I will screenshot the attendance here. So for those who have not taken attendance, please go to the chat box. Yeah, the chat box have got the attendance here. This one here. Remember to take your attendance. Okay, we come back at 7:45, 7:50. Yeah, we take a short break now.